everybody. I am Jamie Geller. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, take three. That's what we call this in the biz. I'm Jamie Geller. You're watching Feed Your Soul, brought to you by Aish. I have been waiting over a year to have my next guest, so I really don't want to wait too much longer. So I'm going to tell you right about her right now. Kim Kushner is a teacher and the author of 3 best-selling cookbooks: I Heart Kosher, The New Kosher, and The Modern Menu. Raised in Montreal, Canada, Kim learned to cook at an early age from her Moroccan-born mother and spent summers with the family in Israel. Kim's cooking style reflects her busy, multitasking lifestyle. Her recipes are flavor-packed and made with straightforward techniques that bring ease, time savings, and creativity to the kitchen. She's become well-known in New York City and abroad for her healthy and hearty dishes made from locally grown produce. Not necessarily the first thing that comes to mind when you think of kosher cuisine, but when I think of kosher cuisine, the first thing that comes to mind is Kim Kushner. So welcome to Feed Your Soul, Kim.
Thank you so much, Jamie. I'm happy to be here.
Kim, I waited so long for you to be on the show, but I always say the good things come to those who wait. So thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure to be here. I'm thrilled. I've also waited. So I guess, like you said, it's time, and I'm really thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Great. So let's start cooking right away, and we'll chat and cook. But what is the first dish you're going to show us? And I love these summery, fresh dishes that you're bringing.
We're making quick, easy summer salads, something that you can serve lunch or dinner and throw together very easily. Like most of my recipes, I like simple and straightforward. We're using fresh, seasonal items. And that's really, in my opinion, like I think you would agree, the best way to cook. So we are going to start with a spinach, watermelon, and watermelon radish salad.
Okay.
It's bright, it's beautiful, and it can be put together in just minutes. So I'm ready to go.
Okay, and I see you've got a gorgeous bowl of really dark leafy green spinach. If somebody doesn't love spinach, which I do, I'm just saying I do, but what would you recommend subbing with?
You can substitute literally with any leafy green. You can use arugula. You can use any type of lettuce that you might like. I like using a spicy arugula. Mizuna is delicious. You could do a mix of spring lettuces. You can use romaine, baby gem. Really anything will go. Really.
Right. Okay, fabulous.
I like using the spinach because I buy it washed and cleaned already, so it makes throwing this together very, very easy. It's moment. So what you're going to need is some delicious watermelon, which I've already cut into bite-sized chunks.
Okay. And any tips for picking a good watermelon, Kim? I feel that people are so nervous.
I have only one tip. I ask them to cut it and I taste it on the spot.
Wow.
That's what I always do, because how many times have you come home and it's not good? So there's only one way.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's my trick. I say, can I have half, or can you give me a whole cut in half, but I want to taste it first. So I'm the annoying person in the grocery store. That's me. But what I love about this salad is you can prepare all of the elements ahead of time individually. So I've cut the watermelon into small little chunks, and I have radishes that I also slice thinly. I store them on ice in the fridge, and the same thing for the watermelon radishes. And what this does, it will store it in the fridge beautifully for at least a week. So anytime you're throwing together, whether it's a salad or crudité, you have these items available and ready to go. They're prepped and ready to go.
Kim, we have this fabulous side cam. Do you want to hold up? We'll ask Adam Bradley, our producer, to pull up the side cam. Holds up a watermelon radish and explain to people what this is.
Okay, let me see.
Wait 1 second so you can see that. You got to go a little bit the other way. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah.
So watermelon radish is a radish variety. It comes big and light green on the outside, and you peel it on the outside, and then inside there are different variations of how the color will be. You won't know until you peel it and cut it open. But sometimes there's a hot pink and green. Sometimes it's just plain fuchsia like this. And it's just delicious. Tastes similar flavor to a radish in that it's mild, it's got bite to it, delicious, adds a burst of crispiness and, almost like a wateriness too. So delicious.
Right. Okay. And stunning, just stunning. I feel there's something about your food. It's so practical, but it's so stunning, Kim. And I'm so excited. We'll talk about your new book and the pictures in the back. But do you purposefully like develop recipes with? I always say we eat with our eyes first. Is that like a consideration, or just happens to your food?
I mean, it's a bit of both. I think you do eat with your eyes first. So I think it's important that it presents beautifully, but I wouldn't choose something just because of the way it looks. I'm choosing foods that look beautiful and taste delicious. But most fresh fruits and vegetables are really beautiful looking in their own natural form anyway. So anyways, I'm going to show you in like minutes how to do this. So we take some of the watermelon chunks, and I'm just going to scatter them on top of the salad. You don't want to, you don't want to overwhelm too much. And I like to keep the watermelon very nice and cold so that it's crispy and delicious. Yes. And then the same thing, I'm going to just take a bunch of the red radishes that have been very thinly sliced, and I'm just going to scatter them.
And they're literally sitting in ice water, or the bowl is in ice?
I put them in I keep them in the fridge in a container of water with ice. And then every once in a while, I'll replenish the water and add a few more cubes.
And how long can you keep them like that in the fridge?
They'll stay for a good week. They stay for a good week. So, yeah.
So here, Kim, we're going to pull the side camera just for a minute. Just turn the bowl, like tilt it toward, you could see it coming together. It's like beauty already. Okay, great.
Thank you. And then we have just these gorgeous watermelon radish thin slices that when they're really cold, they almost curl up. So beautiful shape to them. And this is the basis to the salad before the vinaigrette, which I'll get to in a second.
Okay, great.
It's very, very simple. So these elements.
And would you recommend any other summer fruits? Like I could see blueberries being like a nice little addition here.
You can totally use blueberries. I would recommend, like, something that I do sometimes is I'll add some grilled jalapenos that are sliced. I'll add some feta cheese if I want to make it dairy. Very fresh and summery, light. I'll serve it with like grilled bread, sourdough that's rubbed, drizzles with a little olive oil. It's just simple and delicious, and it looks so beautiful on the table. So
really, I love it. And you know what? I love that you're using a nice white, like low, like wide, shallow bowl. And I love it because you have a lot of surface area to show the beauty of the dish, and all these colors pop against the white. Like that's something I feel like you always consider.
Yeah, I tend to always mostly use white serving dishes, and even white dishes. It's my favorite, to set the table with. I love white, crisp, and clean dishes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move this over. Okay. And I have here some fresh mint, actually, from my garden that I've washed and dried. And I'm
those mint leaves are huge.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They smell so good. Delish. And I'm just going to grab a quick handful of them and quickly chop them up.
Okay.
And add them in. And even my herbs, that's something else that I will wash ahead of time, wrap very tightly in paper towels, store in a plastic bag in the fridge, and it will last, I like to do as much as I can ahead of time so that it makes actually putting things together very quick and simple. So once you have, the things that take time is the chopping, the cleaning, the prep. Mm-hmm. But once you have the prep ready to go, it makes everything else just go really, really quick.
It allows you to entertain with ease, or it allows you, even if you're just on your own or with your immediate family and you want to have all these fresh, healthy elements to your salad, when it's pre-prepped, like you're your own sous chef, I feel like it's amazing.
Exactly. So here is the gorgeous salad.
Okay.
And the vinaigrette is super, super simple. All I'm going to use, I have it all here, is I like to work directly in a glass jar. So that way, if I have excess, the storage is quick and easy. So we're going to have some white sesame seeds. I'm going to use some rice vinegar.
Oh, I love rice vinegar.
Some toasted sesame oil and some raw honey. And that's really the gist of the dressing. So,
and it's funny, it has a little bit of that Asian flair to it, and I love that combination.
What's important for me when I'm creating vinaigrettes is to not create a vinaigrette that's too overpowering and too flavorful that it will mask the flavors of what's in the salad. We have delicious fresh mint. We have watermelon.
Right.
I don't want anything that's gonna overtake that. I want it to enhance it. So
it's got so much going for itself already.
Exactly. So it's literally just a tiny amount of dressing. I put a little bit of raw honey for the sweetness. And then I have the rice vinegar here, and I have the toasted sesame oil. And then I'm just going to add some sesame seeds for some bite and crunch. I love combining textures in a salad as well.
For sure. Kim, do you have like a ratio? Like obviously, we'll post the recipe below. But like, do you have any like vinaigrette, like 2-to-1 type ratio, or you always kind of give it just a feel for it?
It's 1 tablespoon sesame oil to 2 tablespoons rice vinegar, and 1 teaspoon of the honey, and then a little bunch of like 1 or 2 spoonfuls of the toasted sesame oil, of the sesame seeds, excuse me.
And that's really not a lot of dressing for that huge salad you just made.
Tiny little amount. But what we're going to do, one of my pet peeves is when you're served or serving a salad and at the bottom of the bowl is like a soup of salad.
Yeah.
So I try to avoid that. And that's also why I serve in a lot of shallow bowls. Because what happens is it allows the greens to sort of hold the vinaigrette as opposed to the vinaigrette falling to the bottom of a
that's a great tip.
Thank you. So I'm just going to drizzle this over, and then with my hands, I'm going to toss it all together to ensure that all the elements have a little bit of the vinaigrette flavoring. And that's it. It's like a light summer salad. It's
so always stunning.
It's stunning. I serve barbecues. It's always a crowd favorite. People always are like, and what is that? Because of the pinks and the beautiful colors. So
I feel like it's not only probably a crowd favorite at your barbecue, but I bet you're asked to bring this one because it's so stunning and so amazing.
Yes, a lot of when I just posted an image of the ingredients, I had a couple of people write to me, that's all I've been making every barbecue all summer long so far. I go to, so it's really nice, and it's so simple. So
it's amazing. Let's give a moment to the side camera. Adam, if you could switch the side camera, hang on there till Kim gets her bearings, and we can really like show everyone what's in this bowl. So just hang on the side camera for a minute. Yes, great. And then Kim, give it a tilt. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love the sesame seeds in there. I love that. I love, 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 love. Beautiful, beautiful.
I'm like going in the wrong direction, but.
No, it's okay. I have to say, so we often make one fabulous dish, but with you, I guess, as you're so kind to me since I waited so long to have you on the show, we're going to do 2 dishes. So we've got another amazing idea for everyone for the summer. So let's talk to them about what's coming up next.
Okay, great. So the next dish is also a family favorite of mine. It is marinated feta cheese. Basically, it's simple feta cheese that you buy in the store that is then drizzled with delicious extra virgin olive oil, some spices. I add thinly sliced jalapenos, flat parsley, lemon, and lemon zest. And it's delicious. Actually, for Purim, I think it was this past year, I made individual beautiful mason jars of the marinated feta, and I sent it out with a baguette and a bottle of wine, and everybody loved it. So
I'm sure they did. I'm sure your friends love like being on your delivery list for that holiday. So any like tips on anything feta-wise quality? I feel like you have such few ingredients that you need to all be so special. So any thoughts on quality?
In general, that is my rule of thumb. Like if you start with really good, high quality ingredients, you don't need to do much to them. Right. So that goes for the olive oil, extra virgin. I like to find olive oils from different regions. For the feta cheeses in general, I love kosher cheeses that come directly from Israel. That's
Yay!
And then the parsley is from my garden, and the jalapenos as well are from my garden. And we're going to sprinkle some sumac on top, and that is from Israel as well. So
amazing. Oh, I love the addition of the sumac. Okay, let's get to it.
Okay, so let's get to it. So very simply, I have a block of feta cheese
Kim, let's just move. I think that, yes, correct. So we could see, and we'll stay on the side camera for this one.
Okay, great. So I have a block of feta cheese that I have taken a paper towel, and I've sort of just pressed the paper towel against it so that it is nice and dry. And I'm just going to cut into the feta cheese, and you can serve this in big pieces, tiny pieces. It totally depends on what your vibe is. I'm going to cut them into little cubes. The important thing for this recipe is that you keep all the feta cheese in a single layer in your dish, and you want a shallow dish so that you can have a single layer of feta cheese.
Great. So there's a theme in our serving dishes: shallow with a nice wide surface area. I think it makes this like beauty.
I'm guilty of having a ton of white bowls, but they're great because it's interchangeable. Like it's salad, you can serve rice in them, you can serve pasta in them, anything will really go. So here we have some of the feta cheese. Oh, I'm going to leave this here actually.
Yeah, we'll leave it here so this way you get a good angle, whatever you're doing on your cutting board.
Add some shallots that have been thinly sliced. I'm just going to scatter them right over.
So just talk just for a second about shallots versus the red onion.
So I think that the shallots, it depends what you end up with. But in general, I like to play around. Red onion for me is more bagel, cream cheese, lox, red onion. So when I want something slightly a little bit more refined, I'll go to the shallot.
Okay.
Just, I guess, a bit of a milder flavor is how I would describe it.
Perfect. Yeah, delicate. I love it.
A little more delicate. We love spicy. Jalapenos are always a go.
Us too. Yeah.
You do. So of course they can be left out if you have kids who want to eat this dish or anyone who does not like spicy. I'm just going to add some of those, and then I'm going to add a bunch of roughly chopped flat leaf parsley.
Great. How long have you had a garden, Kim?
So this is going to be my 5th summer.
And do you love it?
I love it. I really love it. It's, how many things can we see grow right before our very eyes, especially with my children. I think it's just to have something that tangible where we work on it, we check on it, we water it, we trim, and then you go and a few days later, there's something growing. You really, it's nice to see results. We don't always
Correct. The fruits of our labor. Sometimes we have to wait a long time for those. So very, very rewarding. Did you know you had a green thumb? Like, is this something you've done before? Is this like a new hobby?
I don't think I really have a green thumb. I'm learning. I've made a lot of mistakes. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I ask a lot of questions. But, I think for me, the main thing that I learned is, as I always say, less is more. And even in gardening, like I rather just grow a few items that I know I will use. The first year I wanted, all different varieties. And then I realized, let's slow down. I'll grow some jalapenos. I will grow some, lots of herbs that I like, but then just, cucumbers and tomatoes and maybe some squash. Keep it simple.
Great. So we just had a comment. Someone was asking what the name of this dish is. So this is our marinated feta. Is there more to that title, or did I get it right?
It's marinated feta with jalapeno and sumac.
Okay, beautiful. It's almost like your recipe titles are like the ingredients. There's such few, what you're getting.
Well, that's really my goal, and that's my goal in my cooking also. That when my guests or my family are eating a dish, that they don't have to guess, that they'll know what's in it just by looking at it and tasting it. There's nothing hidden. It's there,
Great.
So the next item that we're going to add is going to be some lemon zest, which I'm going to zest right on the top.
Great. And just explain to everyone how not to go too far to the pith, like just, give them a tip about zesting.
Right. So you want to just go very light on the zesting so that you just get the bright yellow part of the skin of the lemon so that it is still sweet and bursting with flavor and not too bitter. You know, even though lemon does have a zesty tart flavor, it shouldn't be bitter where it's, you know, too much.
Right.
So I move the lemon around a lot so that I'm not rubbing on the same area for too long. So a little.
I love the lemon with the cheese. I think it just to that like high fat, creamy, heavy, it just brightens that up. It's such a nice counterpart to that.
Exactly. That's what I think. So to that, I'm going to add a squeeze of the lemon as well so that I get some lemon juice.
Okay. Great.
And that's going to add a great flavor. And then
this way everyone sees Kim squeeze the lemon into her hands just to catch the pits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hands for them. It's this. And then the last few steps are very simple. I'm not going to salt this because the feta cheese is already salty enough. So I'm going to add some freshly ground black pepper. And I am going to then add some extra virgin olive oil. And you want to really cover as much of the feta as you can. So you want to get them smothered in the oil.
Oh, smothered. I could totally get behind that, Kim.
I'm not light on the oil.
Okay. Okay.
Scooping it out, you're not like drinking the oil. The oil is like the vinaigrette part of it. So actually, oftentimes I'll use what's left at the bottom as a salad dressing because
that's a fantastic idea.
Has all these amazing flavors.
I feel like this goes really nicely, even with the watermelon salad that we just made.
Yes. And then the last step, which I'll show you.
Turn here to the side. I want to see if you don't mind to give it a minute. Adam, don't move. So just get, until, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay.
And the very last step is the sumac, which I sprinkle just on the top.
Mm-hmm. And sumac, just explain to everyone what it is, and I could let everyone know.
Sumac is a berry that grows in the Middle East, and I'm sure you have some there. Yes. Some of that over to me. You know where I live.
Woo. Okay. Okay. I hope so. We'll get. Actually, hold on. I'm like, which way is this? These are available on Amazon, and we're going to. Why can't I turn this way? And I will send it to you. Okay.
No, so I will go on Amazon right when we're done. I'm very interested in Amazon, so no problem. Looks delicious. So I know yours is the real deal, and it just adds a burst of tart flavor, and it's just fresh. It's a spice, dry spice. It's bright and fresh, and not many dry spices will offer that. So that's why I love it.
I love it with dairy. I love it with fish. I love it with vegetables. Yeah, fantastic. Great on green beans. And it's very nice with things that are lemony. Like it just like the citrus flavor notes come out. Very complimentary.
So what I love about this is that now you're done. I would just let it marinate in the fridge.
How long?
You know what? I'll sometimes keep this for 4 or 5 days and we'll eat it through the week. The thing is, because there's olive oil in it, when you refrigerate it, it coagulates a little bit. So you just need to allow it 10 minutes to just come to room temp. And then it's delicious.
I can't tell you how many times my husband's like cleaning out the fridge and he grabs something that I've got marinating in olive oil. He's like, this is garbage. I'm like, no, just put it on the counter. We'll be fine in a few minutes. I'm working on it. Don't throw it out.
Exactly. So this is, everybody loves this. This is a brunch or a dairy lunch, no brainer.
No brainer, Kim. We don't have a lot of time left and there's so much I wanted to talk to you about. You have this stunning life. Stunning. You are stunning. Your home is stunning. Your food is stunning. Talk a little bit about that. You said it's been quite a year. And people look from the outside in and they never imagine that somebody else is just going through anything, struggles. And just looking at your Instagram today, I see the stories you posted, how inspiring they are. To whatever extent you want to just share about this year, whether it's a global or a personal experience.
I think everyone has had a really tough year. And, for my family personally, we've lost somebody who was very close to us this year. I had some health situations myself, but thank God everything is good. This is life. There's always ups and downs. And that's the interesting thing about social media. You see one perspective and one perspective only. It's not real. It's beautiful. It's fun. It's entertaining. And you could get a lot out of social media. You could learn a lot. You can create beautiful relationships. But, reality is reality at the end of the day. And nobody knows what goes behind closed doors. But I feel very blessed for my career, for my family. And really hope that the coming year brings everyone worldwide health and happiness and comfort. Because it's not that we didn't already know it, but I guess the last year was a reminder to everyone, to just slow down and appreciate our health and what we have. So
very much so. Kim, what has helped you, get through the year? The show is called Feed Your Soul, right? So we make the food that feeds our families and nourishes them from the inside out. And what are some of the tips that you have just literally, figuratively, or literally, or emotionally, or spiritually, how have you fed your soul this year, and what's helped you push through?
I think who you surround yourself with is really the most important thing at the end of the day, whether that be your friends, your family, your teachers, spiritual leaders, advisors. I think that's really important. And also taking the time to give yourself what you need is so, so important. Just stopping in the moment. For me, that has been extremely, extremely helpful, to just take a look from a different perspective, to step back and have a look and reflect is always the most important thing and the most valuable, I think.
I'm just drinking something. We always say to bring an interesting drink to the set. So I'm not so interesting because I'm trying to focus back on my health now after a year and a half of ignoring myself. So I just brought like a glass filled with lemons to here. What's in your glass, Kim?
So I have, this is actually like a yuzu spritzer.
Oh, you're so fun.
And fresh mint and basil. I mean, come on. How often
I know.
Drink with Jamie Geller.
Correct. Well, first of all, I hope that we'll be able to have it together here in Israel. Hopefully, you'll be able to come back in the fall. God willing, the skies and everything will be open and we can do this in person. 2 quick questions for you in the limited time I have left. You were mentioning about the people that surround you. I saw your most recent Instagram post where you really celebrated your friends who've been with you for the ups and downs, and to see the joy on your faces. I found now, as I'm getting a little bit older, I ignored myself for a long time, my personal, friendships for a very long time as I'm raising a young family, but how much that support system is so crucial in these friendships. Women to women, peer to peer are crucial. To just talk a little bit about your friends that you celebrated in the last post.
You know what? It's funny. I have 2 sisters who I'm extremely close with, and my cousins who I'm extremely close with. But here in the United States, my sisters and my cousins are not nearby. So I'm very lucky that when I moved here 20 years ago, I made incredible friends who have become, I always thought I have my sisters. I don't need, any other friends, but I've met friends who have come into my life and been like part of my family. And I don't take it for granted. And I had a party a few weeks ago and I knew my family would not be able to come because they are in Canada. And I thought to myself, should I do it another time? And then I said, you know what? I have so much to celebrate here. And another thing is I'm not going to, this is one thing that the last year has taught me. We had to press pause on so many things and we had to push things off and we had to cancel. And I said, when I have a chance to celebrate in life, and this is something my husband said to me, there's no reason to push it off. If you have something to celebrate today, celebrate it today. And don't push it off for next month, because when you push things off, oftentimes they don't end up happening. So I wanted to celebrate life. I wanted to celebrate the relationships, the love, the blessings that we all have. And I was very lucky to be able to do that.
Well, Kim, I have the chills when you said that, not to push off the celebrations and the happy occasions. I think it's such a great, great gift. Often our husbands are so smart, and I love that he said that. Okay, my last question for you, and I wish we had more time, so it just means we got to do this again. You've got stunning pictures behind you, Kim. I love it. Just tell a little bit about the new book and what we can expect.
So these photos are for my upcoming cookbook that will be released, God willing, in the spring of 2022. So around Passover time. And it's just, this book is really, really, this is the book that I've always wanted to do because it ties together what I love, which is easy, simple, beautiful food and recipes, but also entertaining and serving and hosting and celebrating and bringing people together and gathering, which is really what I love. And it doesn't need to be a huge gathering. It could be a 2-person gathering, a 4-person gathering. But when we gather around a table, so much happens. It's great and beautiful and amazing to have delicious food, but really there is something magical that happens beyond food when you gather around the table. And that's what this book is all about.
Oh, that's what this show is all about. And so we need to have you back again and again and again, hopefully in person in Israel. Kim, you're so worth the wait. Everyone, please follow Kim. Check out her 3 best-selling cookbooks and 1 coming up. Kim, you're a joy. You should just all have only health and happiness and an amazing summer.
And the next place I want to go is Israel. If I can, I will be there. So thank you so much for having me.
We're waiting for you. We're waiting for you, Kim. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Okay, everyone, that's Kim, author of I Heart Kosher, many other fabulous cookbooks, The Modern Menu, and just a dear, amazing person, so inspiring. I hope you love her food. I hope you love her story. Lots of amazing tips. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you next week on Feed Your Soul, brought to you by Aish.